Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's August 1st, 2022. This morning I'm going to address a question that I had about knowing where the hugelkultur pits are as you're putting these on the property, or is it important? I think it with my goals and aspirations, it is kind of important. Since hugelkultur pits, after having time digging up or digging next to a hugelkultur pit. So for example, when we did the whole third food forest and we did it, a section going up to the second and third food forest with hugelkultur pits, we ended up putting in a water line later on. And boy, as soon as we touched one of those hugelkultur pit areas, water rushed out of those areas. So I know that those hugelkultur pits have the capacity to hold lots of water. So that's an important learning lesson that I learned a while back. The other thing is I decide on the location where I want the hugelkultur pits based on what my needs are in the present and in the future. So our property is lots of gravel. So right up here, over there, a little ways away, is where the old, I'm going to call them ancient foundations were. And that's a location where it's really bony, lots and lots of big rocks. These are relatively small rocks from the area over there. And so I dug some big trenches to bury a lot of those rocks. And some of those boulders were 3 foot by 4 foot in size. So that leaves lots of big voids around them. But this is also a hilltop area that we're at right here. There's an old well over here, and I showed this. Hopefully I posted a video, will have posted a video by the time you watch this video, about soil settling or managing hugelkultur pits. And there were still some things that have changed since then, but this is 2-year-old soil that I'll use to top some of the hugelkultur pits as similar to this, that will be used to top the areas in the future. This is stuff that I used yesterday to top, or the day before yesterday. Yes, the day before yesterday. I was doing garden work and more road work yesterday. This is material I used to top some of the hugelkultur bed above the woody material. So this is real bony, lots of rocks in here, lots of root and material and all. But to get back to the initial question is, since this is such a high part of the property, one of the things I can do is create a swale that goes around this area here and feed water to the hugelkultur pits. So one reason that I didn't want to put hugelkultur pits right at the very highest part of the property is because it's so bony. And there's going to be less water retention up here at the top. The water is going to want to run down the slope. So capturing water in slopes, and again, water management is so important for our future. Every bit that we can do on our own properties is very important. So it's to control soil erosion, runoff, loss of the soil, loss of that valuable water, recharging the aquifers, all those sorts of things. So in the future, it won't be this year, I'll be cutting in some swales around here, and I'll be feeding hugelkultur systems. This is a foundation that I'm digging out, so there's lots of stone in this pile right here. This is still part of the highest part of the property. Now I got half of the foundation out, and there's still a few boulders in there and all. But this will be another hugelkultur pit right in this area. From that edge right there on over in that direction, lots of sand. That's where there's a well over there as well. So I know that there's water that makes its way into here. And one of the things I'll do is I'll remove the rest of the stone wall along in there, and it goes back several feet, and I'll use that for the base of a roadway. So I can use this material, but this will be another hugelkultur pit. It won't be as deep as the other hugelkultur pits, but all of the rock that's going out of here I can use for roadways. This is what I'm making for the base of roads in the downhill area near where the beaver ponds are. So this constellation of hugelkultur pits in this location. And the only reason I did this was because there were massive grapevines all around here damaging it, and there was all the old cars and materials in here, and I wanted to clean up this area and reforest it. So underneath that pile there, which is different than this pile here, both of these have hugelkultur pits under them. There's hugelkultur pits where Pepe is, this area here where I'm standing right now. Right here, there's a video that I'll attach some time-lapse video, because this was probably underneath this gravel pile here is the most recent hugelkultur pit that I shot video, and I said, geez, I had a camera, sorry, up here in the top of this when I dug this one here, and then I filled it in. So there's hugelkultur pits there, here, and all in this area. And so the day before yesterday, I set up the camera again. And since there's a big hugelkultur pit here and a big hugelkultur pit here, there, I connected them. So I'm always, after I get a few pits in, I then connect them. And so this is where I just dug out another one 2 days ago and filled it in. And I know people have had questions, and I'm really fortunate. So Elon's over there, that's the Takushi TB290. That has a maximum digging depth of about 15 feet. So this hugelkultur pit goes down 15 feet. Now I put the Bumblebee, if you go back to our old videos, you'll see I put in quite a few hugelkultur pits around the property, all over the place. And they were done with a Komatsu PC27 MR2, which I think has about a 12-foot, 12-foot maximum digging depth. So that shows you the depth that I'm putting it in, and you can sort of get an idea from, and of course it's time-lapse, so you can't really see all the material, but it's stuff from the forest floors. It's the root balls of trees, the trunks of trees, it's all the branches, it's all the grapevines, all of those things get incorporated into this. And by having multiple hugelkultur pits, it's almost like having one huge hugelkultur pit. So there will be somewhat of a depression in this area, but it already is a depression as we go down the hillside. Now it's hard to see because of the gravel piles there, which will be all removed. I'll be using those soon. But the slope goes down in this direction. So the swale that I'll cut in will go right above this, and I'll make sure that I make penetrations where this whole hugelkultur pit can take the water as it goes through the swale system and has a spillway feeding these hugelkultur pits. So these hugelkultur pits has lots of woody material in it. That moisture content in that woody material and the voids between all of that woody material will retain water. Now, it isn't going to happen this time of year. The reason I'm digging and doing all this work this time of year is because the ground is the driest it's going to be. It's just real dusty and all working down here right now, especially down there where I've already got the roads built in down in that direction. And I'll make a video on how we're doing down there with the roads by the beaver pond soon. But the other way, like I've got a Garmin watch here, and the Garmin watch has a GPS on it. Your phone, you can download the app Google Earth, and you could put a pin on the places where you're digging your hugelkultur pits to help you geolocate on your property where these locations are and make a small map. And from our old videos years ago, you could see I made all of the contour, the topography maps. You could see all the design work I did with the various sections of the property. And so, you know, and I haven't bored you in recent years about those things, but it's as you have the means and the time, you invest that time, that energy, those material costs. Owning a big piece of equipment like this is very expensive. Fueling it is expensive this day and age. We're very fortunate that we're able to accomplish some of these goals that we have. But our plans, we make these plans that are at least 5 years in the future, and try to gradually, excuse me, sorry about my voice, gradually take steps to accomplish our goals. And again, the ethics are self-care, earth care, people care, and future care. Always making sure that our actions are in alignment with our ethics, and that our principles are in alignment with our ethics, and that our 10-year plan, 5-year plan, and so on are all in alignment. And we made lots of videos about investing in whether it's material capital like pieces of equipment, social capital, cultural capital, living capital like the forest and all. I even consider the water system part of our living capital as well. All of the things, financial capital. We're always looking at what's the best use of our time and energy to accomplish these goals. And I know that wasn't part of the question, is knowing where these are, but I wanted to put it all in context so you understand why we're putting them in this location. Because one, we can get the gravel that we can use in other parts of the property. That's very good for topping all of the roads. Two, it's down slope, but it's still high on the property where we can capture and store water. Three, it's in an area that was damaged severely by the trash that was put in here, by all the grapevines that grew up in here, by all the dead ash trees that were in this area. Did I end up taking out a few of my nice maple trees? Yes, the tops got ripped off. There's some right here. The tops are pretty darn bad, and they'll probably have to come down. I'm going to give them some time. But, it's all about surveying your property, thinking about what are the most beneficial resources that are there. What are the innate characteristics of the organisms that are there, the innate characteristics of the property that you have, the soil, the material that's there, and what your goals are, not just for yourself in your own lifetime, but future generations as well. So the short answer is you can use your watch, a Garmin watch, or you can use your phone with a Google Earth app to keep track of it. But more importantly, I think, is trying to plan everything out, doing sector mapping, understanding your zones and permaculture and all. And I made quite a few videos about it, and there's lots of better videos on YouTube as well. So I hope this video was of some value. If you found it of value, give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and by all means, folks, stay safe, take good care of yourselves, and don't be afraid to dream big. Major things can be accomplished by really carefully planning, aligning with your ethics, and making big plans for the future. Thanks so much for watching. Have a super fantastic day. Bye-bye now.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2. Get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. they'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, really gonna rise to the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, grow hard about what you wanna be. Step 4.
Okay, just got done digging this pit here. The fill right here, the material that I just dug out of this pit is sitting on the most recent hugelkultur pit right over here. And I'm right up against another hugelkultur pit right over here. I might have been able to go a little bit wider here, but right there's another hugelkultur pit. So each one of these will be connected by very narrow walls of gravel going in between. So this is another pit, and I'm going to go ahead and grab some material and start filling this pit.